Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Primetime Carolina. I'm your host, Tanner Blue, along with my co-host, Dave LaFave. Dave, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, it's another beautiful Thursday night. Just chilling in the man cave, ready to talk some Panthers. Super Bowl
Man,
on the horizon. There's a lot of good going on in the football world.
if there's anything I love doing, it's talking about the freaking Panthers, man. I love it. I love it. Especially the past couple of years. They've been really, really fun to talk about.
Dude, it's like it never is painful. It's always fun. It's never frustrating. It's easy going, man. It's just what we
It's a
do
good
around here.
time, man. It's
Yeah.
a good time. But in all seriousness, before we get the show kicked off here tonight, I want to give ourselves a special shout out. We are about 5 subscribers away from reaching 200 subscribers. That's right. You heard it here first. We here at Primetime Carolina are almost at 200 subscribers. By the time this episode comes out, I want to hit 200. To everyone that subscribed and listened, thank you very much. And it's amazing because I've barely promoted this show to any friends or family. So everything that we've done on my end, at least, has been completely organic.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to all the people who've been following along, subbing to the channel, enjoying the conversations. You know, pretty soon we're gonna get it going with a little more steam, and we appreciate everybody supporting it.
Maybe by the time we're 50, we'll be on an episode where we're talking about us winning the Super Bowl. But for now, we're going to talk about other teams in the Super Bowl.
Bro,
That's
Super
right.
Bowl 100. That's the only goal. As long
That's
as
the
we win by
goal.
100.
We lost in Super Bowl 50. It's only right we win in Super Bowl 100.
Facts.
Big facts. So, we got a lot of Carolina Panthers stuff to get into. We'll get into that in a moment. We're going to get into the big NFL news here first in general. The Super Bowl is coming up next Sunday. It's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Rams live in LA from SoFi Stadium. This is definitely not the Super Bowl matchup I thought we were getting, but I'm pretty excited to see it. I don't know if I have a favorite team. I mean, I kind of like both teams for different reasons. I like the Bengals because they're young. Joe Burrow, I like him a lot. They're kind of what I wish the Panthers were. They're doing an amazing job despite having a bad offensive line. And then you look on the other side of the coin, you got the LA Rams, a team who's pretty much was built to success minus a quarterback. They get Matthew Stafford in a trade. People had linked him to Carolina. I think he made the right decision. He's going to the Super Bowl. And I think it's going to be a damn good matchup, man. I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, man, it is so refreshing, and I'm probably going to make some people mad, but it's so refreshing to see a Super Bowl without Tom Brady for the first time, and it feels like my lifetime. And I know there's been a few that he hasn't been a part of, but it feels like he's in every Super Bowl. So it's nice to see something different. And it's, and it's not even just him. It's just it's two different teams, The Rams were in it a few years ago, but before that, they really hadn't been in one since 2001, unless
I think it was like 99 or 2000. I mean, it was around that time.
Yeah, well, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl was against the Rams, so
Correct.
I believe that was 2001. So it's nice to see, and obviously the Bengals have not been relevant in 30 years, but so it's real cool to see two different teams in the Super Bowl because it feels like for the last 20 years or so, it's been a lot of the same teams and same players, so it's refreshing.
It is nice to see, and I think that's the first time the Bengals have been in the Super Bowl since the 80s or 90s when they played the 49ers. I can't remember what year that was. It's been a long time though. But shout out to the Bengals, man. I mean, they've done it right. They've done the classic rebuild just right. And you know what? I don't care what Jay-Z or Matt Rule says. 7 years, my ass. It only took them 2 years to get where they needed to be. And look at them now. They're competing for the Super Bowl and likely going to be competing for many more after this.
Mm-hmm. We cannot emphasize this enough. That it only took them 2 years. They were 2-14 2 years ago. And look at them now. It did not take 7 years. So, Matt Rule, I know you tune in weekly to what we have to say. Your little Jay-Z excuses are not going to fly much longer because we've seen it done in the NFL. We've seen how quick a team can turn around.
In 7 years, half your team's going to be old and on a different team. 7 years. 7 years. This is not college.
And Shaq Thompson's going to have like a gray beard by then.
Tell you what, man. But besides the Panthers, we'll get into them in a second. I'm pretty excited for this game. I don't know who I'm going to pick to win yet. I'm still thinking about that. I'll probably have to decide here in a few minutes when we make our predictions. But I'm pretty pumped, man. I mean, you got two really really good offenses. You've got Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase. I mean, you got guys on the outside. You got two great quarterbacks, one young guy, one old veteran who's finally getting his chance. And then on the defensive side, the Bengals have a couple guys, but you got Aaron Donald on the other side. It's going to be a blast. I think I'm going to go with the Rams here. I just think they have a little bit more playoff experience. I don't know. It's tough. I could be completely wrong. They're also technically the home team, I guess, in this game, even though they're the away team when it comes to jerseys. I'm gonna go with the Rams, man. They're gonna win in their stadium, and it's gonna be a fun night.
I'm excited because I feel like almost every Super Bowl I've ever watched, I just cheer for the team that I hate less. And I feel like in this game, I don't really have to do that so much. I can kind of just sit back, relax, enjoy the game. When I think about the matchup itself, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Rams' ability to rush the passer, and then the issues the Bengals have had protecting the passer. So I think for that reason, along with the weapons they have on offense, we know what Sean McVay can do. I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I think they'll win this game in what's essentially a home game. I'm going to go with the Rams, and I think this is going to be a good day for my family who lives out in Michigan, who are rooting
Shout
for
out to
Matthew
them.
Stafford. I should clarify why it means anything to them.
Very nice. And either way, if the Bengals win, I'm just as happy because I like Joe Burrow. I like their
Sure.
young guys they got. I mean, like you said, I think that's the perfect one of I don't really have a team that I'm wanting to see lose. Like I just want to see a good game. And I'll be honest with you, I think you can agree with me. This playoffs has been out of this world, crazy tight, close games. It might be the best playoffs I've ever seen personally, but it's been a lot of fun. Um, I can't wait for it to. I don't want the season to end, but it's going to end with a good game, so I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an incredible playoffs. You know, not not counting that first wild card round, that wasn't the most exciting thing I've ever seen, but the divisional round and the championship round were absolutely outstanding. So hopefully the Super Bowl, follows suit with that. And like you said, I'm gonna cheer, not even really cheer for the Rams, but I'm gonna pick the Rams to win this game. But I wouldn't bet against the Bengals. Obviously, they made it to this point when they were counted out from the beginning, and Joe Burrow's just got that. When it comes to it factor, that is all Joe Burrow is, man.
That man, he's got it going on. I knew since watching him in college, at least. I mean, his senior year, pretty much. When that year he won the Heisman, I was like, this dude's got it. This dude has got it. And the Bengals, they got their guy. They're good to go for the next 15 to 20 years. So shout out to them. Speaking of great quarterbacks, obviously the greatest quarterback, maybe up to someone else's opinion. In my opinion, the greatest quarterback of all time just retired. Tom Brady retiring from the Buccaneers, 22 seasons, 7 Super Bowls, three MVPs, 100 gazillion Pro Bowls. It doesn't matter. The man, he's finally calling it a career. We've had this. We've suffered enough of watching Tom Brady destroy all of our teams, constantly bashing our hopes. But at the end of the day, when you look at the guy's body of work, he's the best of all time.
It's hard to argue with. I mean, personally, not a huge fan, but for the sake of our time, I'll say congratulations on a great career. To I can't say goat.
A man
I
of
want to say it, but I just can't.
a man of few words. Listen, I understand. I understand. Looking at it from an outside perspective with no bias, is he the greatest, athlete of all time? Absolutely not. But he's the best competitor and overall player that we have seen thus far. 7 Super Bowls. I don't know if that's ever going to be matched ever. again in this lifetime or the next, as long as we're watching football. But, you know, shout out to Brady. I didn't think he was done, but I mean, the guy's got nothing left to prove. He won that Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. That's all he really needed to do was to go out there and prove himself that he could win without Belichick. And
Sure.
he did that. You know, I mean, you know, the Bucks had a stacked team, don't get me wrong, but you know, he made it work and they were able to get it done. So shout out to him. I don't know what he's going to do next. I know he's got a clothing line and all that stuff going on in TV 12, but I don't know if I see him being a broadcaster. People are talking about him being like involved in an organization as like a GM or like a president or something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see him, I have no insight on this, but I don't really see him doing anything. He just seems like he played as long as he did, and he seemed, for him to play as long as he did and for him to leave at the time he left, he had to be comfortable with the idea of just going home and being a dad for a while. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying he won't ever do anything else, but I would think it wouldn't be anytime relatively soon. I would think he's gonna kind of fade out for a couple years, and then maybe if he gets bored, he could join a team doing something or go into the broadcast booth. But we'll
I
see.
agree.
But
I agree.
congrats on a
It's
great career.
I think you bring up a good point. I mean, I don't really see him, you know, doing anything. I could be wrong. Absolutely. I mean, I didn't see Drew Brees being on NBC, but he is. I kind of I think it's going to be interesting to see how the world and the NFL adapts to, you know, life post Tom Brady, because I mean, this is the first time in 20 plus years. This is the first time in pretty much my whole life since I watched football. He won't be a part of it. I think it's important for the NFL to get to that next generation of quarterbacks and generation of players, which they're doing. So yeah, I don't think it will be bad for Tom Brady to, take a back seat for a year or two, go be a dad, because we know that's the main reason he retired was to be with his family. You know, he's got to, spend time with them, but he's that kind of guy where he's competitive and he's going to want to do something. So I don't think it's going to be too long before he gets into something, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Um, obviously, incredible career for Tom Brady, and like you said, a lot of those accolades will just never be touched. And I'm 100% sure the man sold his soul to the devil because there's no other explanation for what he's done with his life. And I don't only mean football. The man's married to a supermodel. Like you said, he's not athletic, but yet all he does is win. He's had some amazing luck along the way. Not to take anything away from him. He's had some amazing luck along the way. 6th-round draft pick. It's fishy. It's fishy, Tom Brady. I'm on to you.
It's
I'm
a
on to you.
conspiracy.
Yep. I know what you've been doing.